House Bill 2040 passed out of committee on a 9-1 vote with a goal to ban bots from buying tickets to public events. This comes after ticketing companies saw the rate of bots used to purchase tickets skyrocket. Those bots buy bulk tickets to public venues and sell them at a significantly higher rate, but are often unusable. Politicians now want to protect the consumer.
The bill originated from an article that I read about Taylor Swift, how this had happened to one of her concerts where, I don't know how to say it, but the fans got fleeced for a lot of money. There was even one lady that said she almost put it on her credit card for like $4,000 or $5,000 to purchase a ticket for her and her daughter to go to Taylor Swift. And so as I read more about it, I learned more about it, and it's just something that Arizona needs to stand up, the legislature needs to stand up and protect Arizonans today.
A StubHub representative spoke out against the bill, citing less competition will inevitably cause greater control of the market for specific companies. He also noted that StubHub has had a positive effect on the state of Arizona, and this bill will only harm that effect and the company as a whole.
In 2023, StubHub brought roughly 100,000 people to Arizona. Customers from all 50 states have used our marketplace to find tickets to events in Arizona. And admittedly, the live event ecosystem is not without challenges, which is why we support the conceptual efforts of House Bill 2040 to improve that ecosystem. However, instead of creating more competition and protecting consumers, House Bill 2040 will only concentrate that control in the hands of teams, venues, artists, primary ticketing companies.
The bill will need to pass through both chambers before it gets to Governor Hobbs' desk. With bipartisan support, legislators are hopeful that it will become a law. In the newsroom, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. The Pac-12 baseball tournament officially marked the end of an era for the Conference of Champions as we know it. Something that players and coaches will miss dearly, especially for Arizona infielder Tommy Splain, whose walk-off winning hit gave the Wildcats the tournament victory.
A new era began today in Tucson with the hiring of the first female athletic director in the history of the University of Arizona. Desiree Reed-Francois comes from the University of Missouri, and as an alumna and proven leader, President Robbins says she's the perfect fit to take over during financial crises. Reed-Francois will catch a flight back to Columbia, Missouri to attend her son's basketball game at Mizzou Arena tonight, but will begin her new chapter on March 3rd. In Tucson, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. It's the first full day of spring training here in Surprise, Arizona for the Kansas City Royals. Fans came out in full force in anticipation and excitement for the 2024 season. Owner John Sherman and manager Matt Catraro share the same sentiment. Yeah, so far, the Cardinals have been putting the pieces together to make a revamped offense. Watching Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. practice today, you can tell they are developing the chemistry needed between a quarterback and wide receiver. The Cardinals' motto this year is team first. Head coach Jonathan Gannon touched on the state of the franchise, saying everyone needs to put the team ahead of themselves. Gannon expects everyone to be selfless, especially his team, and no greater example of this than B.J. Ojulari giving his number 18 to rookie Marvin Harrison Jr., who wore it in college. Or how about Michael Wilson's mentality towards the rookie wide receiver?
Just based on these couple of practices that I've been out there with him, I would anticipate him to continue his college production to the NFL, barring injury. And I mean, he's really hadn't had any busts in the playbook, and I think he's very perspicacious and always seeking information and very self-aware. And so with that attitude combined with having elite traits that you can't teach and a great natural feel for the position, I truly think sky's the limit for him.
Wilson and Harrison said they have been practicing at various high schools with Kyler Murray to build chemistry. Gannon says that practice will resume in a couple of weeks. At the Cardinals training facility in Tempe, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News.
The U.S. Golf Association held one of its amateur golf qualifying events right here in Arizona. 78 amateur golfers from the U.S., Canada, and even Thailand teed off for a chance to compete for a spot in the 124th Amateur Golf Championship. The event was held at the Desert Highlands Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. Out of the 78 golfers that competed, 8 golfers qualified for the playoffs and 2 qualified as alternates. Local Arizona golfer Kurt Watkins is one of the 8 qualifiers that will represent Arizona and is excited by what the presence of the USGA can do for Arizona. Onto the professional level, the Phoenix Mercury needed double overtime to beat the Dallas Wings 97-90 on Sunday. Phoenix has won back-to-back games and 3 of their last 4 following a 4-game losing streak. The Mercury will look to continue their winning streak with a stretch of home games. First, they will face the Las Vegas Aces, followed by the Seattle Storm, and they will finish the stretch with a game against the New York Liberty. The team is currently 6-6 and 4th place in the Western Conference. Yeah, that's right, Rachel. Folks across the state are preparing for massive amounts of rain over the next few days. In fact, the southern part of the Sunshine State could see up to 10 inches of rain or more over the next few days. It's pretty dry so far, as we can see in this video from Hollywood Beach, but the major rain is expected to begin Tuesday and last through the weekend. The rain comes at just the right time because parts of South Florida have been under moderate to severe drought. And we're getting our first look at the redesigned Splash Mountain at Disney World in Orlando. The ride opens at the end of this month and is based on Disney's first black princess, Tiana, from the movie The Princess and the Frog. The original Splash Mountain opened at Disneyland in 1989 and was based on characters from Song of the South. The ride at Disneyland in Anaheim, California is also being rebranded. Rashada marks the 20th Sun Devil to enter the transfer portal this offseason. In other news, ASU football and 4 individuals who previously worked for the school's football program have reached an agreement with the NCAA enforcement staff on recruiting violations that took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ben, it's been a tough past few days for the Sun Devils on the gridiron, to say the least. ASU men's basketball schedule is finally starting to take shape after the Pac-12 announced weekly pairings for each school yesterday. Inferno Intel reporter Paisley Poole joins us to go deeper. Thanks for being here, Paisley. ASU plays in several non-conference tournaments and series to start the season. From Mississippi State in the Barstool Invitational at the beginning of the year to the Vegas Showdown and the Jerry Colangelo series against Northwestern, which game stands out to you the most? From Cuba to seeking asylum in Tucson, Arizona to here in Kansas City, it's been a long journey for Iowa State's 141-pounder Anthony Echemendia and his journey to becoming an All-American. He simply says it's a blessing.
It makes me so happy to be able to, show all the work I've put in and pay him back for a second chance, because that man right there, along with my high school coach and all the rest of the coaching staff, they helped me.
In 2018, Echemendia was in Guatemala for a wrestling tournament with the Cuban national team when all of a sudden he promptly left the squad in hopes of immigrating to the United States. It took around 20 harrowing days to get to the U.S., traveling through the jungle of Belize and avoiding the Guatemalan police. Since he left Cuba, Echemendia has not seen his parents, but they were blowing up his phone with texts during the NCAA tournament to show their support.
My parents are driving me crazy. They're in Cuba and they're just texting me. My mom, I'm praying for you. I'm like, hey, you need to chill on me. Let me stay focused on the tournament. We talk later.
You know, his father and our assistant coach, Coach Fernando Villascuse, grew up, they were kids together, and so that relationship goes way, way back. So Fernando's been like a father figure ever since Anthony came over to the United States about 4 or 5 years ago.
Echemendia found asylum in Tucson, Arizona, where he wrestled at Sunnyside High School. He says it's the best high school wrestling program in the nation and is grateful for the opportunity afforded by his coaches.
I can't really be humble about this because Coach Leon, man, we have the best program in the country. 30-something state titles as a team. Those guys, man, work really hard. And like I said before, they are so good because they not only care about wrestling, they care about you as a person, and that's why they do so well. Besides, they're just extremely good coaches and athletes.
As a redshirt junior, Echemendia will have the chance to repeat as an All-American and get a chance at a national championship once again. Here in Kansas City, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News.
In February, right-handed pitcher John Schreiber arrived in Surprise, Arizona for Royals spring training after being traded from the Boston Red Sox. It marks the first time in his career the 29-year-old is in Arizona for spring training.
It's been really nice. The weather's been perfect since being down here. Travel's pretty easy, not too much traffic. But yeah, I'm loving it down here so far.
Fresh from the Grapefruit League in Florida, Schreiber is enjoying the change of scenery and weather. He says his teammates have made this adjustment period easier by being welcoming, and he is reunited with his former Red Sox teammate, pitcher Josh Taylor.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a guy that's willing to take the ball anytime, and he'll go out there and pitch with everything he's got. So I think he's a good addition to the bullpen.
The veteran bullpen arm is just the most recent of several offseason moves made by the Royals front office. They are confident that he raises the trajectory of the 2024 season for the franchise.
It's very exciting. I mean, I've seen John quite a bit when he was with Boston. He's pitched in high leverage. He's a competitor. He's a bulldog, those kinds of things. His stuff really plays. I think it's just adding another quality major league pitcher to our bullpen and raising our expectations.
What was supposed to be a rebuild period for the Royals changed into a more aggressive approach to winning by signing several big names to the squad this offseason. Schreiber not only adds to that excitement, but also adds an element of talent and leadership to the bullpen, which has the Royals striving for a divisional title and more. In Surprise, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News.